Third-party API integration benefits our experience. How to. By ProCoders. What is a third-party API? According to the name, a third-party API means a special program that connects functionalities from different apps. It is provided by a third party, usually, but not necessarily large enterprises, to enable you to access their data or software functionalities on your website or application. Top 7 Most Popular Third-Party API. Google Analytics, Google Maps, Facebook Login, YouTube, Stripe and PayPal, Skyscanner, ScreenTime. How does a third-party API work? An API is a reusable communication interface/medium between two apps. It creates shared functionalities and enables seamless, regulated data sharing. In the third-party case, the owner develops an app functionality as an API so that other apps can plug into their app features. Key benefits of using a third-party API. Efficiency. Before now, every new app maker had to build all its functionalities from scratch. However, now, software developers can take advantage of third-party APIs to access functionalities that would have otherwise taken time and effort to build. Avoid data duplication. Google Sign-In enables several apps to use OAuth authorization credentials to manage user profiles. Without such an authorization API for third-party integration, every user has to create a new profile for every sign-up. Less maintenance. A third-party API is easier to maintain. After all, it is owned, managed, and maintained by the company that develops it. For the third party, it is an easy plug-and-play method. What is third-party API integration? It simply means connecting an API from a third-party provider to your own app. It is continually maintained by the provider, and the connection is enabled by means of special developer keys for the purpose. Why you may need a third-party API integration. For many startups that don't yet have the resources to build their own complex functionalities, it can come in handy. APIs from established and reliable companies can open up your business to a whole world of possibilities that would have otherwise been inaccessible for your business. How to choose the right third-party API for your project. Documentation. Every software product is usually accompanied by some form of documentation for developers implementing the product in their respective codes. Features. Developers turn to APIs for the sake of efficiency. Surely, you don't want to use two different APIs when one can perform all the functions you need. Support. A third-party API is maintained by the provider, not you, the client. Therefore, you have to use tools with excellent provider support. How responsive is the provider? How frequent are the updates? Reliability. This is information gotten from other users who have tried the API. One that is frequently buggy on other platforms would probably not work well on yours too. Security. When you use APIs from a third party, you are inevitably sharing data with that provider. Hence, if the provider does not have high-level security and data encryption enabled, your data is probably not safe using that product. How to integrate third-party API. Hire an API integration developer. Integrating third-party APIs can get very tricky quickly for non-developers. Therefore, the best option is to hire a mobile developer or a developer that specializes in such. Consult the documentation. This is the obligatory first step for integrating third-party APIs into your project. The general procedures for integrating an API might be similar to each other, but there are specific concerns pertaining to each one. Get the developer key. APIs usually require a special developer key, basically, an authorization token to process connections and secure communication. Again, the exact details of how to access the developer key are usually contained in the documentation. Integration. This is the integration proper stage when you connect it to your app. This is what establishes secure and regular communications between it and your app. Ensure that you adhere to the standards for security as you do so. Does a third-party API affect the final cost of your project? One of the main benefits is that they help you to optimize resources and time as you boost efficiency. This in turn translates to significant cost savings. Our experience in third-party API integration. One of our key capabilities in executing these projects is complex API integration. We have an array of outstanding web and mobile developers responsible for various software projects, and that carry out REST API integrations, among others. Conclusion: one of the best things an app developer can implement is an API integration, and when it comes from a third party, that's the best. This is a super efficient way to extend the functionalities of the app by relying on the resources and infrastructure of another company. Subscribe our channel and read more about third-party API integration, benefits, our experience, how to at Procoders blog.